H, is there a problem? 23B, 24G, 25D, 26H, 27B, 28G, 29B, 30G, 31B, 32J, 33E, 34K, 35D, 36J. Are we getting some of these right? Okay. I want to make sure that I have it. Did the wrong answer key. 37C, 38K, 39B, 40K, 41E, 42F, 43E,
Hold on. Which one's past 43?
43E, 44G, 45E, 46G, 47D, 48J, 49D, and 50F.
What was 49?
49 was D, as in dog, or Donkey Kong. That's what I said. All right. Oh, we can go, if you went past, that's okay, we can't, we're just limited in time, but if you went on, because I know I had a few more. What did it go to, 53? 50, I said 51A, 52H, 53B. All right, what questions do we have? B, as in boy. Any questions? 27, do you have any before that, Brooklyn?
No.
Okay, so this one involved volume.
I just did like 10,000 divided by the area of the field. Got like 1.5 or something.
So it was B, so you got, yeah, so you got B, yeah. It says how many cubic yards, 10,000 if the snow were spread in an even layer over, shown below, about how many yards deep would the layer of snow be? So you take the 10,000 and divide it by the area of the field. So the area of the field you find by 120 times 53.5. And then you take 10,000 divided by that, because volume is length times width times height. So they give you the length and the width, and they give you the volume is 10,000. If you multiply those, you just divide it with the height.
Have you been like 30?
Zoom in so we can see. 30. Any other ones in that first 10, Haley? All right, 30, did you draw it or label it?
Yeah, I tried, but I didn't want to take too long. So
Okay. So it says the whole thing is 30, right? So the whole thing is 30. AC is 16. So from here to here is 16. And BD is 20. So from here to here is 20. How many, if it can be determined, is BC? Okay, so, and the answer was, what was the answer again? Okay, so since this is 20 and the whole thing is 30, that means AB has to be 10. And so from there to there is 16, this would have to be 6.
Oh, okay.
Might be good to do that, like just one underneath another. Did you just figure it out in your head, Haley? You just labeled it and figured it
It
out?
said AC was 16, so I just did 16, A, B, C, D, and then
you knew AB was 10, and then you had 6 left.
Yeah, I didn't even find it in that. I just did CD and BC.
You did CD and BC?
Well, CD would be 14 if AC is 16 to make sure.
Oh, that's another way too.
Because that's the first one it gave.
Because if this, yeah, this was 14, so you know you have 6 left over. So you could go either way. That would probably be quicker. Alright. Next. Oh, yes. Next problem?
The next question I have is on 41. If I don't know if she has any. Yeah,
She said 41.
Yes.
do you have any?
You don't have any before that? Okay. Okay, this, actually, there's a quick way to do this.
I remember learning this in like 5th grade, but I can't remember.
Yeah, well, they usually repeat it in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, and then you don't see it for a long time.
I knew like the far right side, that part was 10, but I
Well-
didn't find the other two sides.
If you look at this, I mean, they do this every time. If you look at just the horizontal parts, you see this bottom is 26. If you piece all of these, because the one starts where the other one left off, if you did that, plus that, plus that, plus that, it has to be 26. So if you double 26, you get 52. And the same thing is true with the vertical sides. You take this piece plus this piece plus this piece, it would have to equal these two pieces. So if you add this up, you get 14, you know it's double, so 28.
That's a lot faster than I added it.
Right, but the reason is that you haven't done it for so long, but that's a quick way, if you remember that. Did that all make sense?
No.
Okay, let me show you again. This piece plus this piece plus this piece, if we took this piece and moved it, it would be the length from the bottom to the top. Well, the same thing, these sides, although they're not labeled, I could figure them out. But although they're not labeled, if I took this piece plus this vertical piece, it still is the length from the top to the bottom. So whatever that adds up to be on this side, it's going to add up to be that on the other side. And the same thing with the bottom, 26. If you piece these all together, it would go across and be 26. So if you can figure out one side, just double it.
So you just find the length and double it and the height and double it?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a whole bunch of, extra stuff that you could do work and figure out, which you probably did, what those other sides are by subtracting all that, but
Well, I actually didn't get that one little piece, like, between the 6 and 4. But, like, I put the other ones, and it was like 70, and I was like, I know I'm missing that piece, so it has to be.
oh, well then, and since this is 6 and 10, these two add up to be 10, so you can pick two numbers to add up to be 10. But I guess there is no way to solve those, exactly what they are, so,
I did 42.
yes. All right, 804 graduate seniors in a certain high school. Approximately 2/5 are going to college. Approximately 1/4 of those that are going to college are going to a state university. So, first of all, you would take 804 to find 2/5 of them, you just multiply it by 2/5. That'll give you how many are going to college. And then after that, you take that number, and then 1/4 of those students are then going to a state university. So what do you get when you multiply by 2/5? Is it 400? No.
804, 321 bits.
804 times 2/5 is what?
321.
Well, actually, what I did real quickly, since you're just multiplying it all together, I just reduced this. This reduces to 2/20, which would be 1/10. So I knew that was 80.4, so it's approximately or close to F. It's just multiplication. So. But you could put that in your calculator. You could do it as a decimal too. 804 times 0.4 times 0.25. 43, did we get it? Or did we get it just by guessing?
Yep.
That one was, you got it?
I didn't.
Cause like,
I'm impressed.
if X was one, then what was the, I just did it like, if I took X, Y cubed equals 45, and I was like, if X was one, what would Y be? I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it,
Did
but
you get E?
Huh?
Did you get E for your answer?
I got B from my answer.
You got what?
B.
B is not the right answer.
Oh, that's
Should have
not,
been E. That mean,
you're going so
I
fast.
got B.
I'm sorry.
I thought-
Trying to
I
get it
thought
all
you
in.
said B and E sounded a lot.
Okay, greatest common factor. Do you remember what that is?
It's like the highest number, two numbers in one.
Well, you're looking at these two. The greatest common factor means what factors do they have in common? How many factors of X do they have in common? This, they have one, and how many factors of Y do they both have?
Two.
Okay, so this is the greatest common factor. Now what they're asking is what values could Y be so that you got a greatest common factor of 45. Now, where should you always start by plugging in numbers if you're going to check? Start at C, or the middle. Did you learn that strategy? Okay, now if I put 9 in, 9 squared is 81, that's already too big, right? So I got to go lower. Okay, let's say if I put 5 in, 5 squared is 25, but is there any integer I could take X, 25 times what gives me 45? There's nothing, right? But what about 3? 3 squared is 9. Could it be 9? Yeah, it could be 9 because X could be 5. Okay? That's just, yeah. If you haven't done greatest common factor in a while, that was that. What else we got?
I got 27 through 49, or 47 through 49 wrong, so.
You got 46?
Anything in 46? All right, do the best we can here. All right, radii is the singular form of,
No,
it's the plural form of radius. I said that backwards. Plural form of radius. So the ratio of two radii, or the radiuses,
So it's two radiuses is.
yeah, yes, would be the same thing, is 4 to 9. What is the ratio of their circumference? Now, the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So if you did 2 pi times 4, ratio times 2 pi times 9, well, the 2 pi's cancel and the ratio would just be the same.
I didn't even do that, because just the
You
ratio
just-
stays the same.
Would stay the
Ratio
same.
is still gonna reduce.
Now, if it was area, it would change.
That's whenever you square.
You'd have to square the radiuses to determine the ratio if it said area. Circumference would stay the same, but area would change. Okay, 47. Do we remember what the word tangent meant? We used it in calculus like for the first time.
I
Okay.
couldn't remember the equation of the circle, so.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, that's not good, but if that's all it was, it looks like the Pythagorean theorem. Okay. The HK represents the center, so it says it's tangent to 5 on the x-axis and 5 on the y-axis. Tangent just means it touches. So if it touches, the circle would have to be in this quadrant, right? Now you use what we know about shifting. It shifted 5 to the right, right? Our drawing, our sketch. So 5 to the right, I subtract 5. And since it's beside the y, I do the opposite. Since it went up 5, I also subtract 5. It's always the opposite.